From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 17th, 2022. The president of Hungary, Katalin Novak, is in Israel, where she met today with Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid, who later said, "We discussed the shared history of Israel and Hungary and the cooperation between the countries in the fields of security, energy, and water." Lapid said he thanked Novak for Hungary's unwavering support for Israel. Novak also met with Israel's President Isaac Herzog, who said Hungary and Israel are strong strategic partners and maintain ever-close bilateral ties. And Novak met with the expected next Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, who said of the Hungarian leader, "Our relations are excellent, and together we will strengthen them even more." And Netanyahu today spoke over the phone with the president of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, where Hebrew media reports the two agreed to work together towards a new era. Ties between Israel and Turkey were resumed this past August, and the Times of Israel cites a Turkish readout of the call, saying that President Erdogan said that it was in the shared interest of Turkey and Israel to maintain the relations by respecting sensitivities on the basis of mutual interests and to strengthen them on a sustainable basis. President Herzog's office was cited by Hebrew media today, saying that he would visit Bahrain in a few weeks, the first Israeli head of state to visit the kingdom, though then Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett visited Bahrain earlier this year. Herzog's visit is at the invitation of King Hamad ben Isa Al Khalifa and is set for December the 4th. He will also go to the United Arab Emirates to meet with Emirati President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Well, Israel and Jordan today signed an agreement at the COP27, the UN climate conference taking place in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, for the ecological restoration and sustainable development of the Jordan River. Israel's Environmental Protection Minister Tamar Zandberg penned the deal with Jordanian Minister of Water and Irrigation Muhammad al-Najjar. Sharing the news of the historic agreement, Zandberg tweeted, "This is the first environmental agreement since the peace agreement, which was signed with Jordan back in 1994, and a critical agreement for the restoration and prosperity of the river of religious, cultural, and ecological importance in our region." French Jewish actor and singer and Holocaust survivor Robert Clary has died. Born Robert Max Weiderman in Paris, Clary was most known for his role as Corporal Lebeau on Hogan's Heroes. At just 16, Clary and his family were sent to Auschwitz, his parents murdered in the gas chambers the day they arrived. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter back in 2015, Clary spoke about the last time he saw his mother.
The first time I jumped off the train, my mother said the most remarkable thing. She said, "Behave." She knew me as probably as a brat, and she said, "Behave. Do what I tell you to do." Unfortunately, that was her last words to me.
Clary ended up in Buchenwald, where singing for SS soldiers helped save his life. He, for many years, did not speak about what he went through, but later in life, Clary changed his mind. The Hollywood Reporter cited him, saying, "Those who are attempting to deny the Holocaust, my suffering, and the suffering of millions of others have forced me to speak out." And that he did, with the Simon Wiesenthal Center, who mourned his passing, writing, "For 4 decades, Clary volunteered his time and shared his experiences during the Holocaust with thousands of young people at the Simon Wiesenthal Center and Museum of Tolerance. And he was featured in Mariah Films' Unlikely Heroes." Clary died yesterday morning at his home in Los Angeles. He was 96 years old. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Tom Nides and former Ambassador David Friedman will together lead the March of the Living next year on Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day, which falls on April the 18th of 2023. The annual march made by students, world leaders, and survivors from Auschwitz to Birkenau. The International March of the Living announced the news this week, saying that this joint effort by Democratic and Republican leaders of the U.S.-Israel relationship highlights America's bipartisan solidarity with Israel and its commitment to combat anti-Semitism in all its forms, a commitment which transcends politics and partisan agendas. Nide said, David and I represent different sides of the political spectrum, but we are on the same side, the correct side, when it comes to standing with Israel and against prejudice and hate of any kind. And Friedman added, Tom and I have very different political views, but we fully agree that anti-Semitism is a vile scourge which we must defeat. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, November the 17th at 7 o'clock, it's Talmudt Study. At 7:30, the March of the Living presents highlights of 2022 Kristallnacht commemorations from around the world, including survivor testimonies from commemorations held in Israel, Austria, Germany, and the UAE, Dubai's first Holocaust memorial. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Ruth Wisse on L'chaim. At 10, Abigail Pogrebin sits with Steven Skybell, the actor portraying Tevye, and Zalmen Mlotek, artistic director of the National Yiddish Theatre Folksbiene, in the award-winning production of Fiddler on the Roof in Yiddish, which is coming back to New York City. And coming up next, it's the ILTV's Insider. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 17th, 2022. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.